Act 2 of Doom 64. Hold up. Uh, Alright, I'm back. So yeah, I'm gonna continue doing my
I hear
thing.
something. There you are, Sam. And how's
Yeah.
your apocalypse going this evening?
People getting crazy at the gun store, man. You know, my friend Spot, like all the guns in his place, they were fucking sold out, man. Even all the ammo was gone.
See, what do you Americans do? You guys think you're going to shoot the virus?
No, it's it's mainly due to the potentiality of rioting, like
No,
looting and stuff.
there's not going to be no goddamn looting, man. It's not the plan.
Well, if the way the news is spinning it, man, they make it seem like it is. You
Oh,
have
I,
to
I,
agree.
I
And
know,
that
but
is why there's so much people panic buying shit. That's why there's like hella people being dickbags for, uh, just fucking, just
yeah,
taking
like
people's
seriously,
shit.
like some people have it wrong. But right now, like if you yourself, if you caught coronavirus, do you know what would happen?
I have some rough ideas,
Yeah,
actually.
yep. Yeah, what is it?
It's not fatal, but
You would have a
it
really
can be if
shitty
you're
week.
yeah, it can be if you're a certain age or if you smoke. But other than that, you can
No,
survive it.
that's true. Or if you have like underlying health problems, like if you
Yeah,
have cystic, you could die at like 20, right? If you have like cystic fibrosis,
yeah, something
right?
like
Like,
that. Like if you're born with a weak heart or something, right?
yeah, yeah. No, I don't know if a heart I don't think it's
I'm
a.
spitballing here, but I don't know either.
Yeah,
To tell you the truth.
I think it's respiratory. I don't think it's cardiovascular.
Yeah.
It could be. I know it's respiratory, but
Yeah, that's for sure. Like breathing, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but I mean, like, I don't want to take people's like right away to smoke or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no. Like don't get, and it affects everybody differently, right? Like
yeah,
you know, some people you can have it and it's just like a really bad cold and it goes away in a couple of days. Some people are in the hospital on the fucking respirator, but like the flu does that, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it does. But
yeah.
what I don't, but also it doesn't help that like our governments are actively
Yeah.
closing stuff, and in a way they're not helping the panicking, because like,
Well, no. I understand some of it because the truth of the matter is, we don't know how the virus spreads yet. Like, you know,
yeah,
we, they think it was airborne, and now they don't think it's airborne. Now they think it's like, it's from moisture droplets, and the problem is like, there's a lot. Like, I'm limiting how much I go outside, right? Like,
yeah,
not because not because I'm afraid of getting it. In fact, actually, I kind of want to get. If I'm going to catch the virus, I mean, I don't want it, but if I'm going to catch the virus, I'd rather get it sooner than later, get it over with. But
yeah,
because for what for just like the flu. Once you got it, if you get over it, you're basically done for the season. Like, you're good to go. um, but I'm limiting how much I go, not because I'm afraid of it. If I get it, so what? Right? Well, it's not a big deal. I'm limiting how much I go out. Because I don't want to give it to, like, say, somebody's like 70-year-old grandpa. I might be standing in line behind at the store. Right? That's why I don't go out.
Yeah.
Like, especially in my building, there's a lot of elderly people that live in my building, right? Like, you can fuck them up. But then I'd be
Absolutely.
like, dude, nice apartments opening.
Yeah.
But basically, everything's a loss now. Basically, I mean, governments are going to do what they want to do. They want to show the public that they're doing something. We're at the point now, honestly, I believe, where it's too late. It's just got to run its course. Like, it's going to do its thing, and it'll go away eventually. That could be a
I
couple weeks. That could be a couple months,
we
but
don't
it will
know.
go away.
Yeah, it will. But like, it kind of kills me to see my own countrymen and people just fighting in the grocery store over toilet paper,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, dude. It doesn't give you the shits. Okay, there is no diarrhea like the coronavirus. There's no
And
diarrhea.
and
Okay,
even
I can
and
understand hand sanitizer because that can help you. Okay,
yeah.
but toilet paper?
Yeah, but I agree. But I understand their position because some of these
Yeah.
people they didn't make a savings that's long enough
Mm.
to survive the few months.
No, most people don't, Sam. Do you have enough? If this goes
My
on for
my
3 months,
savings is shitty. I'll
yeah,
tell you
yeah,
that
do you
much.
have enough savings to last for 3 months? I
No, I
certainly don't.
don't. I don't. I never plan that far ahead, man. I should. I know that sounds stupid, but I should. But I don't.
Like I, Like I got a couple weeks to go, and then I'm on credit card time. Like,
Yeah, speaking of which, I have to make a credit. I have to make a payment on my credit card, man. Like, and I'm hurting financially even more nowadays. But you know what? I still want to try and support my local business because I know the small businesses are very much affected by
yeah,
this. Yeah, like,
dude, just keep your hand sanitizer in your pocket and fucking put it on your hands every time you touch anything, and you'll be fine.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I do think they should do? I've been suggesting this for weeks. Okay, at least for the time. I know some people are old school, especially like older, like my dad was one of those, and they're all like conspiracy theory. But for the time being, put a moratorium on cash purchases. Everything should be credit and debit only, right? So you're not touching all that fucking money. Have you ever seen what people do with money? They put it in their underwear, they put it in their sock, put it behind their ear.
Yeah, they're
Shit.
you
Money's like
like
the.
a magician, like
I
Chris
know. Yeah,
Angel or some
I've
shit.
seen people like roll it up and put it behind their ear like a fucking smoke. Like, the money's the
Oh,
dirtiest shit. People put it in their sock, in their shoe, tuck it in their bra, in their fucking underwear. Like, it is the dirtiest shit. Fucking money.
yeah.
And you know something? I think they said like something like 95% of all money in Canada and the U.S. has cocaine on it, like traces of cocaine on it.
What?
Yeah, just because of all the people, because it comes in contact with it. Not like a lot, like just like small traces, right? Like just about all of it, like 90 something percent. Like seriously, look it up. Seriously, like look it up. Like 90% cocaine on money. Like check them up.
That's a trip. That is a trip.
Oh, dude, I don't know, but you know what they added to Disney Plus?
What? I know they had to
Uh,
update.
I know they had it up, but they added um Return to Oz.
Ooh, I actually saw that on Netflix. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, it's not on my Netflix, but it is on my and James the Giant Peach.
Oh.
Yeah, I hate that damn album. I was in the middle of watching myself some fucking Pinocchio early this afternoon, man. And then my shit got all like slow and glitchy. And I'm like, what is this corona shit? Fucking infected my goddamn internet? The fuck? And then it just fucking stopped my movie and I had to take an update. God damn it. My fucking shit's trying to get all the fucking glitchy and like.
That is crazy. Yeah, man, that's a trip. But yeah, man, as I was saying, like all the gun stores, like basically every single one in the country, including like my state, everyone's running out of ammo to buy. Like the manufacturers have to keep up with this crazy demand now. And we're also getting a lot of gun buyers that normally don't buy guns. So,
Hey man, though, you know what? It might be guns, but that's still money going into the economy, right? So
exactly.
it's still a good thing.
Yeah, but it is like definitely making the gun shop owner super tired. Because my friend was
Now,
like so bummed out. Because there's lines of people. There's normally that not many people doing this. That's why.
now, I'm all for your Second Amendment right. Okay, whatever. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna put this in the. If you want to bake some ammo, that's fine. You guys want to buy all the guns? Okay. All I ask, America, please. Okay, I'm not trying to take your guns away. Can you stock the toilet paper first? Okay, priorities.
Yeah, I
Okay, make all the guns you
agree.
want. Make the toilet paper first.
Exactly, dude. I agree. Leave the TP alone, man. Because I'd rather have that be available more. Because I might need some TP,
Dude,
bro.
dude, just walk into fucking Wendy's and start sticking it in your fucking backpack.
Hey, it might get to that point. Like, for real.
Or take like napkins or whatever, because you know what? In a pinch, they'll do.
Oh, yeah, they will. Very much so.
Yeah, they do. You just have a big ass stack of fucking like Arby's napkins in your fucking bathroom.
But that's if they're open.
They're open. Well, I don't know about yours, but in my province, they're open because they provide takeout. A restaurant's allowed to be open if they provide takeout or delivery service. So
Oh,
like I
same
can't
here.
like if I go to McDonald's, I can still go to McDonald's get my quarter pounder. All right, I just can't eat in McDonald's. Like I can still go inside and order. I just can't eat.
Yeah, it's the same
So I'm like,
here.
yeah. So I'm like, fine, I'll just sit right outside and eat in front of the door, motherfucker. See, I'll stand by. See, we eat it, bitch. All you did was deny me a chair, fucking clown ass motherfucker.
By the
Give me
way,
my nuggets.
I just want to let you know we're live.
I know, I can see the little thing. I haven't said anything bad. Shit.
No, I know. But yeah, man, like, yeah, it's getting crazy. Like, did you see some things with some old people have been going through, man? Some young cats trying to steal from them. Have no shame, for reals, right?
Really? Because that really hasn't been going around too much here. That's kind of crazy. So
Well,
are people just like jacking fucking seniors?
I've seen a video where it almost happened, man, but someone had to step in and be like, "Yo, let her have it," you know. And just seeing that was
Oh,
like,
like at the grocery store or whatever. Like, you know,
yeah,
yeah, they're trying. They're like, "Fuck, that's my fruit juice, Grandma."
yeah, for reals. Like
Knock Granny out.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But
Like
all
that dude I
the
told you, man. He's just sitting there like, I take big fucking shits, man. I take big fucking shits.
yeah. So how's Bill Maher's take on all of this? I'm curious.
Bill Maher is canceled until after the apocalypse.
Why can't he live stream, man?
We probably it's probably rules with I watched another one. His whole show was empty, and he said that this was he got word from HBO that they were suspending all their live shows until further notice, and that was going to be his last show until HBO brings them back, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So Bill Maher's is on hiatus. Uh, was it that John Oliver, fucking Jimmy Kimmel, playing fucking Jimmy Fallon? They're all on hold.
Uh, I'm surprised none of those guys can just like ask their contractors and be like, "Hey, we got an audience still that wants to hear us."
Dude, those motherfuckers are paid vacation.
I
Yay!
know. That definitely will. It doesn't hurt the morale. That's for sure. Oh, that's how I get.
I could probably, I do believe that Bill Maher's still pretty active on his Twitter though, fucking telling people what's up.
Okay. That's good. At least he's active somewhat. But yeah, just all this panic and then just people getting fined for being out in public. And when I saw
What?
that, yeah, you can get
You guys are
fined
allowed to go on the street?
if you're not getting essentials or doing essential things like walking to a doctor's appointment. You will be given a misdemeanor and a talking to by the authorities. And the National Guard has already mobilized in my state because so many people are already breaking the quarantine that California proposed
Well, that's,
already.
see, that's another thing. You know,
And they might deploy the military if people just continue to disobey the quarantine, the self
but what are they
quarantine.
gonna do, man? If there's a guy walking down Sunset, fucking mow that fucker down. Like,
They won't mow you down. They'll just arrest you, most likely, for.
but here, like, put it on. Think of it this way, though, Sam. Like, honestly, the simplest way to defeat the coronavirus, all mankind, especially in America and Canada, like, all we have to do to, like, have this over in a couple of weeks, all we have to do is sit at home and do nothing, and we're fucking it up.
Well, yeah. What happened to
All
compassion?
we
Like,
have
some
to
people are
do,
panic buying, man. They still don't got enough
all,
supplies for a month or a
so
week.
all we have to do is fucking sit down and do
What about
nothing.
that, Mike? You're not wrong, but what about that?
Oh no, see, it's not that bad here. Like we're still allowed to go outside. We're the only limit is we're not supposed. If we can help it, it's not a law, but if we're supposed to try and stay 6 feet apart from each other,
Yep, same
and
here.
we're not supposed to gather in like groups bigger than like 30 or some shit like that.
But,
Like if I go to like Kentucky Fried Chicken to get myself some fucking sandwich or Popeyes or some shit, and there's like fucking 20 people in line already, my ass has to wait outside
but what about the
until somebody
people?
fucking leaves.
But what about the people that survive on that income daily to provide their families, right?
Oh, the government is supplementing people's income, at least in Ontario anyway.
Well, not here. At least I don't think. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, the checks haven't been set yet. So I haven't seen any news of my fellow Californians getting checks. That's why some of them are still heading to work because they either have the choice of quitting or
It hasn't
losing.
passed yet, but I know
You see what
this.
I'm saying? That's why.
Yeah,
That's another reason why people are freaked out.
yeah.
And it doesn't
No,
help that we,
yeah,
instilled martial law. That doesn't help either.
that's fucked up. That's kind of
Yeah,
fucked up.
like you're not wrong by any stretch of the means. It's just that it's not easy at this point, unfortunately.
But yeah, right now the way it works is you gotta call some type of if you were laid off or if your job is canceled or you can't go because if you've been laid off like whatever because the government ordered you to shut down or your business is just shut down due to coronavirus or you're sick with the coronavirus or you're taking care of somebody with the coronavirus, there's some type of like special number, and the government will like supplement your I think it's like 80% of your income, or whatever. So like you don't get the whole thing. It's kind of like being on a yacht, right? Like you get a portion of it. And what our Prime Minister Trudeau is trying to do, hopefully it works, is he wants to have another stimulus. Of course, the government has to vote on it, and they probably won't do it because they're all stingy fuckers. But Prime Minister Trudeau has proposed for every Canadian, not just people working, like you could be on welfare, every Canadian or legal resident to get a stimulus of $1,000 a month until the thing passes.
Hmm.
So that's what Canada is doing. I don't know what the fuck America's doing.
We have a proposed stimulus as well of $1,000. Interesting, we
No.
copied the same number. If you have children, you get $500 more. That's for the children.
Um,
But
you get $1,000 free. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I qualify for it. But
I don't know. All I know is Trudeau wants to give it to everybody in Canada. Their $1,000. So.
that's how it should be here, man. Like I'm gonna get hate
Yeah.
for saying that, but I mean, come on, guys. Like
Yeah.
they instilled martial law on us. It's not as if, like, dude, even I tried applying for a job and I can't get. It's not that I don't want to. I just can't get one. You know?
So like, what is it? So like, are you not are you not allowed to like go to the corner store and like buy a bag of chips or some
Oh,
shit
you
like that?
totally can. Because
Oh.
food's a necessity. But like, they don't want you hanging around outside for too long. That's their concern. That's
So like, you go out there, it's like a little fucking timer. You got fucking 5 minutes, motherfucker. Run, run.
And the curfew is like till 11 p.m.
Oh yeah, I don't get curfews are bullshit. Like what? You're not the coronavirus isn't more active after dark.
If anything, experts even claim that if it was on some said surface, it would be gone within, a certain amount of time anyways, right?
Yeah. No, curfews are stupid.
But I
No, we
guess
haven't
they're
gotten to
doing
that
it
point
as a
yet.
way to
But
keep less people outside, right? Or no?
have you ever seen what's going on in Florida? That state's still letting those motherfuckers have their spring break, man. All the beaches are open
But
and the bars are open.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that they're getting fined for that. I
Man,
find that even in France,
fucking
they're
Florida's
finding
just like, I don't care.
dude. Even in France, they're finding people. As a matter of fact, did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, my mom told me. She's like, "Yo, I just heard on the French news they're finding people in France that walk on the beach. Ain't that
Now,
something?"
I don't know if you've been, I hope they're not lying about it. Because, we never know with China. But it can't, but according to China, it's starting, in their country, it's finally starting to level out. Which, if it's true, is good news.
If not, I know in Taiwan, they did have cases, but they got that under control almost immediately.
Yeah. You know what? Well, all of it is, man. Like, it's not just China. I mean, China lied, they or whatever. But like, it's not just China. It's everybody's fault. We acted too late. Like, I first heard about the coronavirus on the news in January, and nobody did nothing until what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that was mainly attributed to the WHO. The people asked the WHO, "Hey, should we take this seriously?" They were like, "Nah, it'll be contained. You'll be fine. You don't have to worry about it." Later, this complacency just, spun out into what we have now. And what's even more crazy, dude, the Chinese government actively arrested a doctor who tried to warn the international community of this problem. I don't know about you, Mike, but that to me sounds pretty bad. Like, he should be a hero, man.
20 years ago, dude, like almost back in 2003, they did the exact same thing about they knew about SARS, which is actually, I don't know why this is getting like so wrong, because SARS, way worse than coronavirus, way worse. 45 people died just in Toronto alone. of SARS.
Wow, that's crazy. And there was
Yeah.
less. Was there safety measures taken back then?
There were, but like nothing like this. It was the same. It was the same thing. Like Toronto was put under Toronto and like Vancouver, I think, and maybe a couple other cities in Canada. We were put under like not like a lockdown, but kind of like now, like we were asked to like limit going outside, not gather and shit like that until they got it under control. But at the point is the only real difference between SARS and this is Corona is significantly more contagious than SARS. Like SARS isn't as easy to get, but if you do get it, it'll fuck your shit. But China knew because it originated in China. China knew about SARS existing for like 2 months and didn't tell anybody. They just covered it up.
They did the same thing, but
Yeah.
worse. They arrested the cat that wanted to warn the world. That's why I'm like so actively at China right now because of that fact. And no one in the mainstream media really wants to acknowledge that. And it upsets me to
Yeah.
a degree that they don't. Because it's a shame, because that man, in my book, he should be
Yeah.
hailed as a hero of the
You
people.
know why we don't want to do it, and I hate to say because this is a bad thing on us because it's already happening. We don't want to start blaming China, even though we should. But the truth is when we start blaming things on China, people start taking it out on Chinese people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we had a problem. Like the government had to actually even issue a statement telling people to knock their fucking shit off. We had a state where people here in Toronto, like a guy could be born in Canada, right, speak perfect English, and a guy would refuse to get into a car with him, into an Uber because he was Chinese. It's like, dude, that's not how viruses work. God.
Dude, like when I have my aviators on, listening to my Japanese music hella loud, when I was walking away back from my friend's gun shop after buying a holster for my CZ, like
Hmm.
two people violently just yelled Asian slur at me, like in my city.
What?
Yeah, like one guy just pointed at me like very aggressively, and then another guy who was the guy that was looking for the gun mags for the law enforcement Glock mags, because there was a cop in my friend's gun shop, just just looking for law enforcement mags, which is standard capacity. He that
Okay.
that cat just took a good stern look at me and looked at me. He's what do you call that word? Basically, they try to punk you or whatever. That sort of look.
Yeah.
He just
I know.
leered at me for no fucking reason. I didn't flip him off or nothing. He just gave me that violent, pissed off look at me, like I did something wrong. So
Yeah.
I feel I've gotten like 5% of what they got. A little bit.
Yeah.
And that's not fucking cool. As a matter of fact, if they're going to be, throwing that energy, they should be throwing that energy to like figure something out to make themselves survive better instead of attack random people or something.
That's what
That's
I'm
that's
talking about.
that's hella disgusting. But I still don't. But I also actively don't like the fact that's now called racist to call it Wuhan virus. It's totally not, because even in the
No,
beginning
that's
of
where it
all,
came from.
yeah, yeah, but at the same time, it might
I'm,
inspire idiots to do what we just described, right?
that's true. That's true. And I agree with that. But calling it the Wuhan virus is no more racist than calling the Spanish flu the Spanish flu.
Yeah, yeah, but I heard, but my friend Vince, he brought up a good point, and I supported him. But at the same time, because we're in America, I know, like it sounds mean, but like I
Yeah,
was a
well,
victim.
freedom of speech, man.
I was a victim of assault too, as you know, and I
Oh
don't
yeah, that
care.
time that dude
Yeah,
punched you in the
yeah,
face in the
yeah.
subway.
I
Yeah.
know exactly. I know it's totally not
Did
the
you
same.
charge that guy?
I did, but
Yeah.
but it's worse during this time, man, because police now they. I know for Pittsburgh, it's not. Is it Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania? I don't
Pittsburgh
know.
is a city in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
okay, I'm sorry. My brain's all over the place right now because of this shit. Anyways, they openly posted an article online saying we're going to ignore certain crimes. That's
Yeah, you
scary.
know what? Even if you're,
That's
let me
bad.
tell you,
That's so
even
bad.
if you're,
You don't write that.
even if you're good, even if you're going to do that because you're stretched thin, you never announce that you're going to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that made me think, what if it's similar to my city? If that's the case, so in the back of my head when I was replying to Vince, I remembered that I'm like, hey man, you that's why I encourage those people who were attacked, if they can legally get it, man, get a concealed carry permit. Or if they're not comfortable with that, get something to defend themselves with what they're comfortable with. Because the reality
Why? Okay, yeah, here's the thing.
No,
I'm all
because
for
the
having.
reality is the
Why are
government.
you guys why are you guys always about the concealed carry? Why can't you just carry it? Why do you guys insist on
Dude,
having to hide that shit?
because you'll be asked to leave immediately by almost every business if they see it. I am not kidding. And they will call the police on you, and it will drain police resources because they gotta figure out if you're a
Yeah,
good guy or a bad guy. But
yeah.
don't get me
Because
wrong,
I'll do that. Yeah.
I support it, man. I do. I open carry my knife. I love
Yeah.
it.
Because
it
I'm all for you guys' like Second Amendment. I can even in certain cases get behind the open carry. I hate to say it, Sam. I do not support concealed carry at all. There's no
I
reason
respect
that
that. I
people.
respect that position. I do.
Yeah, because I the way because like again, even if I lived in America, like I respect everybody, but like obviously guns aren't my thing. But
But you want to
if I'm
know.
a person that's not good, yeah, if I'm like in a restaurant or whatever or a bar or people, I should have the right to know if there's fucking people packing in there. Because if I
Dude,
feel
that's
uncomfortable, I should have the right to leave.
dude,
Right?
exactly, exactly. And that's why, but at the same time, you're not wrong. But if that was a thing, which it is in some states, some businesses say, "Hey, open care is not welcome here because we want to keep our customers."
But they're
Right?
private businesses, man. They can do that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why concealed carry, if someone wants to
Yeah.
have the ability to feel safe, they conceal carry so they can go into those business to protect themselves and others if need be. Even though you want to know they have it, I agree with that. Don't get me wrong. But that's the flip side to that. Again, your point is very valid.
Yeah.
It is.
You're allowed to carry a knife in California.
Yeah, you can open carry a knife in California. If you conceal it, though, it's a felony.
Because that's the weird thing. I
Yeah,
thought in America,
it's called dirk and
I
dagger
thought that
law.
was a thing. I thought that was a thing. Guns, everybody's kind of chill with. But for some reason, like knives, like I thought Americans were like kind of like anal about saying, "Oh man, you can't have that."
No,
Like,
here's something interesting that you ought to know. In some states, switchblades are banned and auto knives. So like the fucking switchblades the moms
oh, to
carry, and
get me
it's
like a
like,
greaser or some
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah. I guess the law was made to discriminate against greasers, man. but yeah, man. As I was saying to Vince, like I just brought up the fact that hey, if we're basically here in America, you have the right to defend yourself, like in compared to most places where it's a big no-no. I mean, if it's gonna act as a deterrent against these racist shitheads that are physically attacking, so be it. That was my attitude.
Yeah.
Like I felt so bad though when he brought that point up because it's
Yeah.
true. There are shitheads being brought out because of this.
Yeah.
But
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh, I was
But
just thinking about the knife thing. I'm trying to remember my laws. I think in Canada, I think you can't carry a knife that's anything larger than 6 inches, or 4 inches, or some shit like some weird fucking number.
but yeah, I told him that I was physically assaulted too, and it wasn't fun. So I knew what he felt to a degree, because yeah, it really made me feel bad about my post now. But at the same time, like I didn't want to come off as an asshole as much as I could, you know.
Oh, man, don't worry about it, man. These are crazy times, man.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, though, man. Like, everything will be fine. Like, some old people are gonna die. unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I have to say it's going to get worse before it gets better. It'll level off, but like it's not going to be tomorrow, right? Like it's going to be a couple of weeks. Um, but dude, we'll all be fine. We just gotta not we just have to not lose our collective shit. Like like that's literally how we fix the problem. Stay at home and play some fucking video games. Do nothing. It's it. Problem
Uh,
solved. It'll go away. And we're fucking it up, Sam. We're fucking
I
it up.
know we are, and I'm going crazy to a degree.
Yeah, have you ever heard? I know they're did you hear about how GameStop told their employees to just like ignore the police and stay open anyway?
Yeah, I heard
Like even
about
if the
that.
police come to shut you down, like the manager's supposed to.
The,
So like that's your two choices: you either risk losing your job or risk getting arrested. Like,
so
what the
this
You
is
know
a
what? I know you like physical media, but like people should get that shit from Amazon, man. Like it's time for that company to go.
I know. Like, you know what I was gonna say real quick to that? Like,
Yeah.
in a way, I know this sounds fucked, but I'm kind of happy GameStop was open for a bit because, in a way, it does help.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it keeps a sense of normalcy,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and they don't
And
allow
and I'm
trades
fine with
though.
that too. And I'm fine with that too. Like
They do limit how many people can enter the store. I can tell you that
no,
much.
what I don't like, okay, if you want to stay open, fine. What I'm like is, if the government tells you to shut down, to tell your managers to like ignore police, like that's not cool.
No, it isn't because you risk losing everything.
Yeah.
Now I wonder. My question is, if whoever brought this up in their research, can the people at GameStop like get a free lawyer from GameStop if that's the case? Because like
Probably not.
no,
GameStop.
they dude, they should be entitled to one as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
That
they
ain't
should be. I
right.
can 100% agree to. But I'm just saying, like, I'd probably be fired because, like, if I'm a manager, I'm gonna do my job. I like to work, but if the police come in and tell me to close, I'm not gonna stay open and risk getting arrested because GameStop told me to. Like, I'll shut the place down.
Here's the weird part about all of this. You might find interesting. Somehow GameStop got, I guess, the okay to have GameStop deemed as an essential. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
My friend's gun shop counts as an essential because he sells
yeah.
food at it.
I think GameStop might qualify. Because I know nothing like this, but there were things that like during 2003, right? When they were doing all this stuff in Toronto, Blockbuster was allowed to stay open, like during the SARS outbreak.
Really?
Um, yeah, and it's because like you know what, they were kind of because they provide entertainment, right? Like people still have to have entertainment. Like the theaters and everything are closed. People have to have something to do.
Maybe that's why the higher ups was like we
Yeah,
should copy Blockbuster or something like
yeah.
this, right?
Yeah,
But
maybe. No, I don't know. Like
I don't know.
that's
Yeah.
Ontario rules. I do not know about California, right? So
Well, here in California, we specifically say
yeah,
it's got to be
yeah.
essential. So that typically means food, uh, yeah, food and
Hey,
stuff.
hey, man, Blockbuster sold food, man. I could buy a pack of nubs.
Dude, hey, if the
I could
GameStop,
buy some Jimmy Pop.
if the GameStop sells like
Yeah,
actual
do they
food in
sell?
there,
Oh, do they sell snacks at GameStop?
I
It's been
remember
so long since
seeing,
I've been there.
dude, I remember one time walking to GameStop and seeing a snack, but
Yeah,
it was like a Mario themed
yeah,
snack.
yeah. But that's my only thing. They might be exempt because like again because they've been but again like that's going to vary from that rule is going to vary from state to state, right? So just because they're deemed essential because of entertainment in like New Jersey doesn't mean it applies to California or like Nevada, right?
Yeah. Why is that not activating? Well, how do I get this thing? So I was in the right room. Interesting. Yeah, like I just hope everything chills out. But I did hear some like
It will.
somewhat. I did hear some somewhat promising news. Did you hear how they're using Ebola treatments to potentially find something to treat this new thingy?
They will. That's it's good news, but it's unimportant news. And do you want the good news or the bad news first, Sam?
Bad news first.
Okay. The bad news is even if they find uh, uh, like a vaccine going through Ebola or find a treatment, it's awesome, right? The problem is like there's so many laws you have to go through, not just because they're laws, just like standard practices. To come up with a vaccine is going to take anywhere from 9 to 12 months, right? Minimum, and the virus will have already basically run its course by then. Now it might be useful if there's another like up flare, like down the road, like say in the wintertime or next spring. But for this outbreak, it ain't going to do shit. Like this outbreak will probably be long over before there's a vaccine ready. There'll probably be a vaccine, but it's not going to help now. It's this outbreak will be over long before it's ready. Basically, like I said, all we can hope for the best with is that it's got to run its course and hopefully it won't take too long. And it'll go by faster and people will stop going goddamn outside. Like shit, like literally, like I go outside to walk Buddy and to buy food, and that's it.
Well, from what I understand, the the ma-
Like, yeah,
the
how's that? Like in California, like, are you allowed to walk Gus?
I have no idea to tell you the truth, but I know the
Because like he's
fed.
got to
I
go
know.
out. Like, is he supposed to shit in your living room? Like,
No, he goes in the backyard. But like,
but not everybody has a backyard. What if you live in an apartment and you
yeah,
have a fucking
exactly.
German Shepherd?
Yeah. Um, I don't know how that worked. To be real with you,
Man, you got yourself some nice ass shag carpeting, man. You don't want people to be fucking shitting on it.
no, no. Some pimp shit right there.
Yeah, man. Shit.
No, but like, that's a good question. That really is. I just wonder what they will do, because I know some congressmen that urged our president to uh, do so, to lock down the whole entire country. He said that in his statement that
Well, that's because there's some places in the country that aren't that bad, right? Like
yeah,
there's some
yeah,
cities that don't even have it.
but
Actually, there's a
yeah,
lot of cities that don't even have it. So.
but basically he suggested that we lock down travel to anywhere, either flying
I
or
think you guys
going.
have done that. I think you guys have done
I
that.
don't think so, because this guy's saying we haven't done that.
Oh.
But he did say that exceptions should be walking your dog, getting some walking.
Yeah, because you also got to exercise and shit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, dude,
exactly.
like if this thing goes on for like 2 months, you can't expect people to
And
sit
th- and
inside
that's
for 2 months
and
and
that's
never go outside.
and
Like they'll
Mike
go insane.
and that's why
A
people are
dude's going,
being
people are going to start
assholes and
murdering their
panic buying.
spouses and shit. Like,
That is why people are being assholes and panic buying everything. That
yeah,
is why.
that's why we can't have TV.
Yeah, yeah. They'll have to use the what was that spray thingy again? Where you spray on your butt? There's a name for it.
Oh, dude, do you ever watch Today I Found Out with fucking Simon Whistler on YouTube?
Yeah.
Dude, I found out. You know what Americans, specifically Americans, used to use to fucking wipe their ass in like fucking like George Washington times?
What?
Fucking corn cobs, man. Like your ass with a
Hey, you
corn
go back to the
cob,
corn
man.
cobs, yeah?
ass. Bring back the ass rag.
Dude, there's plenty of fucking corn. That's perfect.
The communal sponge, like the fucking Romans.
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
Hashtag ass rag.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I'm just looking up a walkthrough now because this level is just so confusing to me. Like, I was in the room where I needed the blue key, and I tried shooting a switch, but it didn't seem to do a damn thing.
When
I
you
mean,
wanted to find collectibles for level 4.
oh, yeah, I could stream that too. But I gotta at least finish this level.
Yeah, take your time, man.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I'm just playing some Modern Warfare. The new Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, this stuff is going all over the place. For
Yeah,
sure.
you're playing the classic Doom, right? Like the 64-bit one.
Uh, yeah, it was basically a new, almost a new, it was basically a new game because the Doom on the Nintendo 64 was way different than what everyone else got on the PC and PlayStation and other shit. It's like a reimagining of Doom, but like more gloomier and stuff, and the level design's hella different.
Oh, sweet, I got a VTOL.
And more ambient sounds, you know. But for sure, this one's way more
Wait,
confusing to
the
me.
the original Doom was on N64?
Yes, but it was a different version of it. It was called Doom 64. I know that sounds very wishy-washy, but it's for real.
Yeah, my VTOL sucks, man. It's not blowing up shit.
But what's interesting is that like the surfaces and stuff are 3D, and then like in the other version was, I guess. But this game definitely runs smoother than it did back in when it released on the N64, because they recently remastered it and stuff. You can buy it for like $10, or for free if you pre-order Doom Eternal. Yeah, this map doesn't. I don't like this map. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Whoever watches this is gonna be like laughing at me, like, "Yeah, this guy should know how." I'm like, dude, I never really played this version of Doom before. Even on the older Doom games, man, I didn't struggle this bad with trying to get the keys just to progress further. Because they made the game even more puzzlier.
Puzzlier? I don't think it's a word, man.
I made the word up. It's official to me. Fine, I'll call it challenging. Puzzlier. It has a nice ring to it, you have to admit. Just like the Yoggers.
Yo,
Yeah. No, the Globbers, my bad.
Globbers,
Yoggers! That's their cousins. The unofficial name of it, someone's gonna get upset and offended that I named it something wrong. that's a switch, alright. Oh, I didn't know I could go across. My goodness, I feel so bad. At least I was able to get this one. Okay, why didn't that... Another thing that was interesting about this... Oh, shit. I'm stuck down here. It looks like they're spawning in monsters to try and kill my guy. I guess they want my character to die now. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I'm just gonna restart my save. This is embarrassing. Yeah, that was embarrassing. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyways, when I told my friend Frankie about your the tussle you saw at the store, he told me it was epic. It sounded like.
Yeah, dude. There's like some 16-year-old like worker trying to like arbitrate it. Did you see the toilet paper person? No, sir. Did you see it for? Like, shut up. They're just ignoring this little shit ass thing. They're just fucking yelling at each other.
And he's like, "Where's the video?" I'm like, "He didn't record."
Oh, I should've, man. I didn't even think of
And he
it.
told me that. Oh man, you should have just secretly tried to record it then.
Oh, I would have. I wouldn't even try to. I just literally did not think of it. I was just too busy fucking. I didn't even hide it, man. I was laughing with my card. I'm like,
And the other guy's getting hella madder, I bet.
Fuck you guys busy. Shit. Fuck all you all and take your photos.
Yeah.
I don't even need it, man. I'll start selling my toilet paper by the square for like $20.
Yeah. Speaking of price gouging, a lot of people in the gun community are mad at a place called Cheaper Than Dirt.
Yeah, what are they doing?
They're selling a box of 1,000 rounds of 5.56 for $1,000 almost, basically.
So that's $1 a round, right?
Yeah, pretty much 20 cents a round. So that's why people are angry. And they're the only ones that are price gouging. Everyone else is selling at market price.
That's
So,
also one of the things, man. I hate to sound like a commie. That's one of the problems, man, with capitalism. Man. There should be a law against fucking price gouging. Actually, I think there is. In some cases, there is a law against price gouging. Because I don't know about California, right? But like, no matter if there's a shortage or what, like in Canada, like the government sets like how much you can charge for like bread or milk or like eggs. Like you can't charge more. Like that's what the law says. You have to charge this or less, right?
you know, I pay when I went to the when I went to the grocery store with my mom, like I think it was last week or no, this week. I take that back. We had to wait in a line to get in. It wasn't the line wasn't too bad because oh shit. It wasn't bad because we had the luxury of being like 4 people ahead of us, right? But
Yeah.
when we got inside, dude, it was chaos. Like there was shit all laying all over the store. Like I had a hard time getting through stuff that's normally not there, just laying there, right? And then I saw on a sign saying you can only take 1 container of milk. And guess how much the milk was, man?
How much is the milk?
$4.50. Just for a
How
gallon
much
of
is
milk.
how much is milk usually?
Milk is like 3 something or 2 something over there normally. I think they got an expensive brand on purpose, bro. That ain't that some shit though? I know supply and demand,
Do you ever think maybe the grocery stores themselves are hoarding the toilet paper so people have to keep coming back?
but no, because I actually heard on like I've been reading online from actual delivery drivers that the issue is not the amount of stuff that's available. The issue is the time that they can get it in. So there's plenty of food supply. There is. It's just that because people buy all of it so quickly in one day, they
Yeah.
need to get those drivers out on the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, people will run out of money and they'll stop hoarding. So.
Yeah. I hate to
Eventually,
say that, though.
nobody's working, so they'll all eventually run out of money. So you just
That's
buy
true.
what you have, sit on your cash, and then as soon as like all the fresh shit comes in, man, everybody's poor. You got all your fucking money because like yeah, you go buy everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You're like, I lived on fucking top ramen, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Hey, for real, that's some people's diet right now. Dude, even one of my friends, he told me straight up, "Yo, Safeway got murked." Like, dude, they did. Like, freaking, like, apparently the Safeway in his area was like stormed, man.
Damn.
He lives in the Oakland area. I believe it.
Oh fuck, fucking
Dude,
Oakland.
dude, I believe it. Cause
Dude, you guys all just gotta calm the shit
I
down.
know.
Get you guys calm your tits down. Calm your tits. Okay? What you gotta do?
I know. This shit's too crazy.
Use Snickers. Just put out. The coronavirus isn't going to cause a fucking food shortage. Everybody's got to chill out and relax.
Yeah.
What's with you, man? Okay, like, it's going to kill you if you're like 90, and if you're like not, it's going to give you a fucking headache. Okay, let's chill.
Yeah, that's real talk.
And you know what? Another thing too, like this would be a small thing, but I think it would help. Right? I was looking at there's actually even a thing on YouTube where you can watch it. They show all the cases, right? And like, you know, for like America, right? It shows that you guys have like something like 18,000 cases, like 250 people have died, and like something like, you know, like 900 cases, like, you know, like 900 people have recovered, right? And the same thing in China. In China, it's like 80,000 people have had it, like, you know, like 2,000 people have died, 70,000 people have recovered. And that's okay. But what you should do when people recover, take that off the goddamn fucking list, okay? So instead of saying 80,000 people have it, 70,000 people have recovered, say 10,000 people have it.
Yeah,
Okay?
and mention
Because that
more
is
about.
accurate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
when people are
a
cured or get better, take that number down. Because people don't look at the recovered, people only look at the infection rate.
Yep,
That's it.
they
Right?
don't.
And people just, so even though like half the people, sometimes more than half the people are better and they're not infected anymore, they're not even sick, their number is still part of the tally, and that number just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Right?
Yep.
But news, you know, but media wants us to be scared because then we watch more fucking TV. Right? We're like, oh no shit, what's going on? Right? You
And
know, they want to keep us fucking engaged. They want to keep us fucking watching those fucking tickers.
but it also, I feel that definitely does attribute to the panic,
Yeah,
panic
it
buying.
does. It does. It does. Because, like, you know, I think that is the big difference between SARS, because America had SARS too. Like, I think that's the big difference between SARS and this. Because even though, like, yeah, like, you know, the internet was a thing, it's only 2003, right? We weren't in the social media age in 2003, right? This was Facebook, this was Twitter,
We were
right?
not. We were not.
Like people panicked. Like I remember, like people were still panicking, but not like this. Like I said, like just in Toronto alone, like 40 people died, right? And the city was just like, ah, business as usual. Like you know, we put in some measures. Like yeah, it's like do the social distancing shit like we're doing now, right? But they didn't call in no goddamn fucking martial law shit.
Yeah, it's very extreme. Even Germany, like I remember someone writing in a news article in Germany that that our response is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
people in
is.
Germany are chill about it, right?
Yeah.
They're not panic buying or nothing. They're just being
No,
true
I'm
Germans.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. You just don't go outside. Like, you know, go to the store if you have to, and then shut the fuck out. But you know, I don't blame. I mean, us Canadians are doing it too. But that's because, like, you know, we're not getting told like the whole truth. I mean, we're getting told the truth, but we're getting told a sensationalized version of the truth, right? Like, you know, like the news report, the news is giving us facts, but they're spinning it like it's the fucking goddamn bubonic plague. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is.
And then politicians have to react to it because they got to do what the people fucking want, right? So, anything. Is that right, buddy? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't
Buddy's
get
like,
to
Corona
read.
ain't got shit as long as I got my bone. Motherfucker.
But I read it affects our dogs too. Did you hear that?
I heard that a bit, and then I heard them come back and say that they've done more testing and that
What
wasn't
about the
true.
report of a dog dying from it?
I don't know. The report that I read is they thought that a dog could get it because the dog was sick at the same time that like its owner was tested positive for COVID-19, and it ended up that the dog just coincidentally had a different respiratory infection, just
Oh,
coincidentally at the same time. Like that was the report that I heard. Like, and I tend to believe it. Like, even though we got this fucking disease from a fucking bat, like it does that things do mutate. It's not impossible for a dog to get it, but like things jumping from species to species like that quickly isn't common.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it does happen. I mean, all viruses do. I mean, like I said, coronavirus came from a fucking bat, right? Some fucking
Yeah.
dude ate a fucking bat that was like fucking. Actually, it came from like two different. It came from a bat, like a fucking penguin.
Um, there was a report, but the New York Post tried basically censored it because it didn't make China look too good. Basically, right where the outbreak occurred at that seafood market, right across the street from
It's
it.
not a seafood. It's a wet market,
What?
and
Whatever.
wet markets are bullshit. They should be illegal. Like that's all they do is they're blocks. They're like 3 or 4 city blocks long. They're these massive markets with every single type of animal you could possibly think of, and
It's
they're just
not
in
clean.
cages.
I
Yeah,
know.
they're just in cages, stocked and stuff. So you got like bats shitting on fucking weasels and shit, and they cut them up
So,
right fucking there. It's fucking disgusting.
yeah, so right near that wet market is a disease center in Wuhan, like right
Yeah.
across the street from it. And apparently there was a guy that was working at that said disease center and he got infected by one of the bats that was injected with a virus similar to the COVID virus. All I'm saying, man, this bat scratched him, pissed on him. Yes, it did. It pissed on him. It's. I think that's
What
worse
the
than.
fuck eats a bat? Like, don't you like? What the fuck are you eating bats? Like, fucking, no, that's just wrong, man. Eating a goddamn ass bat.
Anyways,
I don't want to eat a bat,
I,
man. You know, fucking piss off Dracula and shit. Fucking come fucking knocking on your window.
I,
You ate my bat. Ugh. Like
I
shit.
mean, you don't want to be like Ozzy Osbourne, right? Biting the head
That
off.
was an accident, man. That was
I
an
know, I was
accident.
joking. Poor bat.
Yeah, somebody. I mean, he was supposed to bite the head off a fake one. Somebody see that shit up there.
Yes, I would put a real one. Oh, that should be a meme now for us.
That was back in like the 80s,
I
man.
know, I know.
Maybe even the 70s. It was a long ass time
No, in
ago.
the 80s, you're right. The first thing. No, but, yeah, like, Ozzy definitely bit the head of that bat. But yeah, man, right near that wet market, there was a disease center, man, that had infected bats. And then we hear from stories it came from an infected bat. Maybe it's not outside the realm of possibilities at the wet market. They probably thought the test bat was a fucking mule, man. Dude, that's not outside the possibility, right?
I guess it could. Whatever, man.
Again, I'm not trying to, say be mean, but like, I mean, come on, right?
Dude, I know I'll be mean. I don't care if people call me a racist or whatever. Like, I'm not dissing China, like like a people. But like, you know what? Wet markets themselves, man, they're just fucking cruel to begin with. They are animal cruelty, right? And I don't care if it's your culture. If that's your culture sucks, man. It's like eating a dog. Okay, fuck that shit.
What if they were eating like, chicken in cage? Is that okay or no?
Uh, eating chicken is fine. If a chicken was in a wet market, just the conditions of the wet market is what's cool. The way they live before they butcher them. They're just in cages, stacked on top of other animals, and animals, and then they're just like these wire cooked cages, man. I saw them, and they're shitting on each other and pissing on each
That's
other,
very
and
unsanitary, bro.
it is, man. Like seriously, like you know, if there's any viewers thinking that I'm just being fucking whatever, like go look up the fucking Wuhan wet market, man. Look at the pictures. Saw that shit on fucking Joe Rogan, man. Like fucking, he showed the pictures right on his fucking podcast.
Like, that's... Yeah, I'm at a loss for words at that one. But it's a crazy world we live in, so we gotta do the best we can, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna remove that post, man. It's just bothering me. I don't know. I'm torn on it. But I hope one day that we'll find something soon. Everything will be right as rain. You know what the world needs, man? The sound of music.
Sounding
Music, yeah.
Julie Andrews shit.
Yeah.
Whimsical Nazis, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Do re mi so
Let's
so
see.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is too much. Anyways, thanks for joining my stream, guys. I'm gonna stop here because I spent way too much time on that last level.
And
I
look up
spent,
wet markets. I'm not bullshitting you. I
yeah.
love them.
Stay safe. Stay at home if you can. Um, Exercise, of course. Interact with your friends, and have a calm mind as much as you can.
Actually, I don't think we're supposed to interact. Are we supposed to practice social
I mean,
distancing?
like, when you talk with your friends, just like contact them on social media and stuff, or give them a call or something. That sort of
And stop hoarding all the toilet paper, man. You have enough. Okay?
thing.
You have enough.
Well,
Okay? I don't. If I'm gonna die, I don't want to die with a shitty ass. Okay, man. Be some fucking PC.
yeah, or you could use the ass rack, right?
Yeah, I don't care, man. I'm not washing my fucking ass with a fucking corn cob. I'm not. I refuse.
Okay. But on that note, I will do another live stream, but I'll just be casually collecting stuff with my good friend Mike here, and have a safe uh, weekend if you're one day ahead of us. And I shall see you again shortly in the next stream, which should be in like 5 minutes or so. Alright, toodles, ciao, bon voyage, au revoir, etc. I've saved my game here.
Very good.